Tuesday, September 3rd, 2019. It's about 7 a.m., maybe about quarter after Eastern time. We're going to take a look at Dorian, which has just been sitting in the same spot for the past 24 hours. You can see this front moving across the country, or to the southeast, holding this in place. Now we'll take a look at my Facebook. Yesterday I was chatting with Ryan, and I bet him that we would see some space fence interference on the radar imagery. And by the morning, he was concerned that it was going to make landfall. He was concerned that it would make landfall in Florida, but it is being held in place. We'll take a look at the radar imagery real quick, and I'll show you what I mean by space fence interference. I've talked about this over and over again. Right here we get this digital ping signature over Eglin Air Force Base. Right there. And what this is a paved pause unit heterodyning in phase with this next rad, and it causes this complex return. Okay, now here's something else that is part of the space fence. There's 12 of these that were designed and constructed and launched from Eglin Air Force Base. Now the paved pause I was talking about, we'll get over here and look at it. Right here's Eglin Air Force Base. Here's the paved pause. This is part of the space fence phased array radar. It works at 3.525 gigawatt pulses on multiple frequencies. These barges do the same, but at higher frequencies. They report to a Jacksonville Navy facility or a ship dock there. All of these systems work together. They do what is called heterodyning, which they all operate at the same frequency. They heterodyne in phase, and it can rapidly change the density of the upper atmosphere. So there's 6 of these parked out in the Gulf, and I'm sure the other 6 are out in the Atlantic somewhere or in the Caribbean. I'll show you the barge on the map. I believe this is a dual phased array. Now that's pretty powerful, 3.5 to 5 gigawatt. Well, HARP is 1 to 4 gigawatts. So this one here puts out more power, or can. What else do we got? Oh yeah, here's one of these barges docked, getting worked on. And there's the radar, which this is where we at, which gave this off this signature here. Okay, we'll take a look at the most recent feeds. As we can see, more interference spikes in that region. Now we'll take a look at the most current radar imagery. We can see some these outer bands are reaching Florida. Now the model, we'll take a quick look at it, and it has still doing about the same, just riding perfectly up Florida, impacting mainly South Carolina into North Carolina. I guess the eye wall. Now they were claiming this was a Cat 5 with over 200 mile an hour wind gusts. And, you know, as usual, I guess we'll have to take the word for it, because, you know, every instrument that I use has had nothing anywhere near what they were claiming. Now this is the highest I've seen this gusting at 61 knots, which is roughly about 70 miles per hour. That's gusting. Now we'll take a look at Shortwave infrared, and as I was showing yesterday, it looked like it got hit by something, and then it starts wobbling like an out of balance tire being held in place there. Here is Cirrus. Now I like the Cirrus band because we can see all the aerosols real good. And they'll be seeding this band right here over Florida, and it will get sucked into the hurricane here, and it will turn in eventually into these outer rain bands. Okay, take a look at this. And what did we see last evening? Land generation. Okay, and we will be seeing this over the next few nights. That's probably one of the reasons they parked it here, is to feed it moisture, because it probably ran out of steam over the Bahamas. Yeah, no pun intended. Okay, so we have all these power plants loaded with wet surface air coolers, which generate steam. And as this hurricane gets closer, they'll probably do what's called blowouts. My uncle calls them contractors rain. He was a steam fitter. But you get my point here. Here's all these power plants. Right? And they will be feeding this storm. And then we have this mess in the Gulf, all these aerosol plumes. It's almost like this is one system now. But this is it has a tropical development. It is a tropical potential, or potential tropical storm and development. And looks like we got a lot of aerosols down below Cuba. But yeah, like I said, all this land generation here. Here's the most current visible feed. As you can see, the sun's just poking up, and I don't see an eye wall at all whatsoever there. Yesterday's geo-collar imagery. Now we'll take a look at this is from yesterday. As you can see, the eye wall, or the eye, is not calm or void of clouds. You know, you got to think of, like, even when it was still Cat 5, it wasn't clear or anything. You got to think about the law of you know, like a what do you call them things at the playground? Like, you spin around. I guess you call it thermodynamics. But anyway, you know, the eye should be clear, but it's not. These are not your grandfather's hurricanes. I don't care what people say. We can just see the land gen and the aerosols feeding right up into that. This is more than likely why they stopped it here, to feed it. So yeah, we got space fence interference, which I predicted, and we got land generation. And we'll most likely be seeing aerosols all through it today as it gets closer to land. I wanted to, yeah, here it is. And then it just stops for a day. You know, totally normal. Hurricane just stops. And then here's from a friend, Rachel. She's Cocoa Beach, I believe it's called, Florida, last evening. Nice purple sky. Thank you, Rachel. I hope you don't mind being in my video. Also, thank you to Harold. He put, last year he did it with Michael too. He put it on his website and before its news. It's funny because this is, like in 2013 and 14, I used to read this site It's where I initially found out about geoengineering and then started doing. And now my work is on there. Not that this is a, you know, credible site, but it's still cool. Anyways, that about covers it. If you're on the coast, you know, from Melbourne on up into basically Virginia, buckle up next couple days, because I'm sure they're going to be letting this one out of the gates here soon. The date, Tuesday. Yeah, they got it inching just a little bit north today. So, that's about it. Other than that, we will check back in at a later date.